Debaltsevo's pocket isn't full ready yet, but we already can see the results of it. The stance on the front line is critical, declared commander of Kyiv's punitive battalion Azov Andrei Beletsky on account of situation in Debaltsevo. The Beletsky declaration generated a complicated reaction in so-called Ukrainian community. Kyiv's patriots demand not critical stance on the front line, but Kyiv's tanks in the Moscow. Why must tanks be in the Moscow when Kyiv's forces fight against military of Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republics? The logic of this fact is off-screen. However, not all Kyiv soldiers ready take over the control of Moscow. They think best way in Debaltsevo's pocket stands start learn what they must shout when Russian military came to them. Apparently, glory to Ukraine is wrong choice. The extraordinary meeting of the NATO-Ukraine Commission ended yesterday. NATO condemned the sharp escalation of violence along the ceasefire line in eastern Ukraine by so-called Russia-backed separatists. Further, NATO, US and EU are thinking about new sanctions against Russia. Why were US, NATO and EU silent when Kyiv's military shell residential areas of Donbass every day since start of so-called ceasefire in eastern Ukraine? Western countries must frankly say Kyiv's military can kill civilians, violate ceasefire and torture prisoners. The result will be the same, but it will be the truth. By the way, we all saw NATO, EU and US supplied Kyiv's regime for its punitive operation in Donbass. NATO, EU and US encouraged Poroshenko regime when Kyiv's government sabotaged Minsk talks by sending their former Ukrainian president Leonid Kuchma, who hadn't any power and couldn't be official representative of Ukraine. But now, in accordance with best Hebel's propaganda tricks, they prefer blame Russia in escalation of situation in Ukraine. The Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine has decided to impose a state of emergency in Donetsk and Lugansk region and introduced a regime of increased emergency preparedness across the country. Ukrainian Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk said on Monday. Kyiv's regime was inspired by latest NATO claims. Now, Kyivs are preparing to kill more Donbas people who just demanded their right to self-determination after Euromaidan's putsch. According to hopes of Kyiv's government, Ukrainians are massively joying when we hear about new wave of mobilization. But this is optimism of rear clerks. In fact, not all Ukrainians hurry join Kyiv's army. The small recession of fighting spirit allowed all men of village Pereginskoye in Ivano-Frankivsk region went to Russia by 26 buses instead of mobilization to Kyiv's army. Isn't that actions Kyiv's patriots are expecting where they are writing in Facebook how Ukrainian army will successfully enter Russia? Security Service of Ukraine captured spotter of Russian military in Mariupol. According to Ukrainian media reports, captured Mariupol's resident Valery Krasnov acted as spotter for the rocket attack on Mariupol on January 24, 2015. Further, that spotter knew certainly Russian unit controlled by Russian officer Pepel or maybe Popeye fired Mariupol. We aren't sure how Kirsanov exactly determined that Popeye was Russian officer. Maybe Popeye forgot take off Ushanka head with Red Star, or spotter saw him to play on balalaika when he don't fire Mariupol by his pocket rocket launcher Putin 666. It doesn't matter, but we exactly knew the number of facts. 1. Ukrainian artillery was deployed in Stary Krim district around January 24, 2015. 2. Russian military attacked Mariupol from side of district Vostochny. 3. Ukrainian artillery was firing at Novorossian military. 4. Local filmed how Ukrainian artillery was firing from Stary Krim and hit district Vostochny. Witness is straight saying during the video Kyiv's artillery fired from Stary Krim and hit the residential area in district Vostochny during the documentary. 5. US masters of Kyiv government are regularly using false flag operations and direct live for propaganda. We can remember incident with MH17, Volnovaha bus attack, shelling at Mariupol only during the civil war in Ukraine. Is Russian officer Popeye or Ukrainian artillery guilty? Everyone can choose himself. We thank our information partners for help with spreading this video news. Subscribe to our channel to receive up-to-date information on the situation in Ukraine and current geopolitical events in Europe.